Hi, welcome to Beyond the Deals. I am your host, Gabrielle Simmons. Today I am here with a very special guest, Andrew. And before I introduce him formally, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Builders Outlet. Builders Outlet is your go-to for all things flooring, cabinets, windows, and trim. They're here in Denver, Colorado, which is close to our podcast studio here. Check out Builders Outlet and go to buildersoutletco.com. Okay, so I'm here with Andrew. He is the founder and mastermind behind Contractors of Colorado. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Andrew. I'm sure you can do it better than I can.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name's Andrew Laverenz. I am the founder of the Contractors of Colorado. It's an organization to help professionalize the construction industry, all of the tradespeople out there. So we like to say that our mission or our goal is professionalizing a traditionally unprofessional profession.
That's a tongue twister.
It is. Sufyan came up with it. He is my business partner and owner of the facility here at the Business Foundry.
Yes. I am grateful to be here with you and Sufyan, as you guys have put together the amazing Contractors of Colorado group. I know that you also are one of the co-founders of this space here at Business Foundry. I always want to say Builders Foundry.
Yeah.
Because I mix up the two places. Business Foundry here. So for those of you that are watching this, I've had the opportunity to join Andrew and Sufyan in putting together a collaborative effort to bring the professional world of contractors over to my world of real estate, all things investors and wholesalers and landlords. And so these gentlemen are helping me put together our group where we're offering education, private meetups, the opportunity to close deals within our private community, and then, of course, get access to these amazing contractors who have been educated and helped within your group. So tell me a little bit more about what brought you here. How has Andrew's life looked to get you to this point?
Yes, my life story.
Yeah.
So I was born and raised in the Detroit, Michigan area. Ended up going to college on the west side of the state and Kalamazoo College. My wife went to Western Michigan University. We have 2 children now, a 3-year-old. His name's Everett. He is amazing and a nutcase and everything you would want out of a little boy. And then I have a newborn baby daughter, just turned a month old. Her name is Juliet. And
Beautiful name.
Thank you. It's crazy looking back how far we've come. My wife and I, she graduated with her master's degree in occupational therapy. She's the helper of the family. She's the one that has the sensitive side and can work in medical care. To me, that's just all so complex and gross at times. But she's amazing. And so she graduated at the time. I had been, while she was earning her master's, I was getting my exposure to just corporate America. I was a data analyst, Fortune 500 company, really, really great situation that I was fortunate to kind of step into right out of college. And man, it burnt me out. I'm not one, I don't think, to work in the corporate world. It was just kind of Groundhog's Day every day, showing up to the same desk, doing the same thing at my dual monitors. And I remember looking over to my coworkers and being like, all right, where do we go from here? What's next? And they're like, man, this is it. This is a great job and great benefits. And, we got a great team. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure something else out. So we packed up our car and our 2 dogs and 2 cats, no kids at the time, and got in the car and drove to Wyoming. We landed in Cheyenne, Wyoming. She took a travel position. And I needed work. So I first landed on a horse ranch where I did some stuff and then ended up connecting with my neighbor who peeled logs and built custom log homes. So that's how I got exposed to the trades. I worked with him. It was extremely hard work. but also completely different than corporate. And that's exactly what I was looking for. And so
Yeah.
I kind of fell in love with the trades there. Had a great opportunity to leave the actual job site and start working with contractors doing marketing through a big another corporate agency, and kind of ran into the same thing: corporate burning me out. This whole time I had been crafting Contractors of Colorado. I saw the potential of having a group of contractors. To me, I always joke that that was the hard part, was getting contractors to actually engage and participate with each other. So we had done something really special by finding local contractors that wanted to participate, wanted to grow their business, and wanted to just have a forum to communicate.
Now, your idea at the time was not Contractors of Colorado, right? Because you were in Wyoming.
Yeah, so I've lived in Wyoming, Montana, and then eventually made my way down to Fort Collins, Colorado.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's when you kind of started putting the idea together to
Exactly.
have the contractors.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was always part of my territory, and I figured, what a great opportunity to connect with contractors.
Yeah.
Give them a space to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've found a way to create a community for them to do just that, right? To actually come together, engage with each other. So what does that look like for your members? What are they getting out of being a part of your community?
Yeah. So it went on for years and years, just being a Facebook group. And it kind of started and ended there. There was a lot of great stuff going on in the group, but I didn't do much with it other than kind of educate the audience on what it was that I did and help them and go from there. It really started at the end of 2023. We had a holiday party here. Sufyan and I had connected, and we wanted to see, will this audience show up in person? And so that's now a backbone of our organization, is these in-person events. So that is definitely the biggest benefit of this community. Was let's take them out of just a Facebook group and see if they want to get together in person. And it was an overwhelming success. We had probably 150 people throughout the day or throughout the event come and connect with each other. And it was at that moment I was like, all right, let's take this seriously. Let's see where this can go. So I left my full-time job, went all in running Contractors of Colorado. Since then, we've implemented a lot of different benefits. We have a monthly meetup for contractors. I think it has to be one of the largest meetups of contractors on a monthly basis in Colorado.
Nice.
And we've put together a professional program. It's to help the contractors address kind of our mission, help them become the professionals we know they can be.
Yeah.
So many tradespeople think of themselves as just a tradesperson and not as an entrepreneur, a business owner, and a leader of their company, which they are. So we help them with whatever it is they need. We have a really strong emphasis on marketing because we have an in-house marketing team. But it doesn't stop there. There's the relationship building within the networking. There is the professionalism side of creating a business plan alongside them, a roadmap to help them execute on that business plan. Material supply relationships with the builders outlet,
Yes.
office
Wow.
space here at the Business Foundry, meeting space to meet up with their teams, media, headshots,
So
everything.
many resources, that you
And
guys
that's the
are-
goal.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're trying to do, is be a resource for contractors to where they don't even need to know what they need. If they just sit down with us and we can kind of put it all on the table and analyze what's going on, we can help.
Yeah. I love that. And I feel like it's the perfect solution to, what we hear sometimes is like, you don't know what you don't know. A lot of tradesmen or people who are in the contracting world, maybe they just know that they specialize in this one thing and they know they might have a resource, but they don't even know the world of other resources that's out there that could save them time, money, expand their business, and so they get to come be a part of your group and
That's what
learn
it
what
is.
they don't know and then expand from there. So
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yep, and we've put together a group of affiliates. So those people that I know a lot about this world, but I by no means am a subject matter expert on everything. And that is where I've turned to people that I've known for years or have gotten highly recommended or have worked with other clients that I work with, other contractors that I work with. We've built this group of professionals that provide their services to our audience, that they're trustworthy, they want to help, they want to educate. So if it's something that the tradesperson doesn't know and I don't know, but I know that they should be keeping track of their books, they should have an accountant, they should understand where they're making their profits, where they're maybe not optimized in their spending. We have all those professionals now too, so they come in and we identify, okay, wait a minute, you're working really hard but you're not making a lot of money to put into your pocket. Something's wrong. Let's bring in our fractional CFO to take a look at where you're actually spending. Do you have contracts? Do you have a contract attorney? No? Okay, well, let's definitely start there because this is a huge liability in your business right now if you don't get this figured out. So
Yeah, that can be a big deal.
Yep. So that's what we help with.
And you guys also provide like branding and marketing help too, right? That's an option that some of your contractors can get access to.
Yeah, absolutely. A full marketing suite. So that's my background. I was helping contractors with marketing solutions for the longest time. And throughout the process, I learned nobody really just wants to work with a marketing company. There's a lot of trust involved in giving someone the keys to your marketing. And especially in the trades, I want my clients focused on staying up to date on best building practices, updated code, managing their teams, being entrepreneurs, being leaders. I don't necessarily want them focused on how their social media is doing or, what their website is ranking at. And so there's this trust aspect of let us take that over. And you're not just dealing with a marketing agency. You're dealing with someone who cares in an agency or an organization that cares about the holistic view of your business.
Right.
So what good is, I was just using this example earlier today. What good is 200 additional leads a month to make your phone ring if you don't answer your phone because you're on a ladder and now we're hoping people leave a voicemail or call you back or will answer your phone call at 6:30 when you're finally back in the truck? It just doesn't make sense. Right. So we pair all of our marketing solutions, which are branding, logos, social media management, web development, SEO. I mean, anything that you can imagine. Like, we have a really competent team.
As well as assistants then that they can have that can maybe field some of these calls?
So we're working on something like that.
Okay.
It's kind of a little teaser for the group, but
that's exciting.
We have a very strong shared services model that we would like to roll out here in 2025. There's a lot that we do in-house. Some things we've already worked out with our great partners at Centennial Accounting Group in terms of accounting and bookkeeping, where we have their services in-house and we can go ahead and identify the need and make that connection. We're trying to expand that when it comes to that sort of thing as well, assistance and just, again, anything in their business that we can do. If we hear it as a need from our clients or our organization as a whole, that's what we focus on. And I think that's the beauty of what we have going on. We don't have to guess at what people want. They come, they tell us, and I get to work.
Mm-hmm. You help them identify, like you said, just the whole picture of their business and help them identify like where they may need some help. And that's what you guys are here for.
Absolutely. It struck us one day. I was standing upstairs here at the Business Foundry, and it's got a great view, and you can see all these different buildings. We're in Park Meadows, so you can see all the salons and the mall and the different banks, and there's so many different businesses. And I was sitting there going, okay, they use technology in their business. If I call right now, someone answers the phone. They answer professionally. They have uniforms. They have branded apparel. Just professionalism to the nth degree.
Right.
And then I thought about the contractors. I'm like, man, there's so much opportunity there. Why aren't they acting like, the bankers? And I was like, well, first off, I don't want them acting like the bankers, but where's that middle ground? And
Right.
It really came down to all of these entrepreneurs want the best thing for their business. It's just really hard when you wake up at 4 and work till 7 and then go home and have a family to attend to and then got to get back up at 4.
Right.
So it's all right. How do we make this easy button for contractors? And that's what our mission is.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
And so tell us a little bit about some of the events that are coming up. Anything exciting? I mean, I'm sure all of it's exciting, but anything exciting, any big events that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. So your event is a huge one for us. I'll plug that on your behalf. February 6th, I believe. The real estate deal makers are getting together, which this is just a partnership we're extremely excited about. I keep calling it, peanut butter and jelly. If you've got people that have project holders and people that are going to hold a lot of different projects and need good quality help, welcome to Contractors of Colorado. That's another huge aspect of what we do is understand who these contractors are and are they not are they good, but are they qualified to be doing what they're doing? Do they have the resources that they need? All of that. So very excited about that event. I've invited all of our preferred contractors to that event. Another big one for us is our monthly meetup that I mentioned a little earlier. It's grown to now 50 to 60 contractors. It's a contractor-only event, so I'm sorry, real estate professionals. But it's a contractor-only event, and we meet on the third Tuesday at 7 a.m. here at the Business Foundry in Lone Tree. And it's incredible. Like I've been to so many different networking groups and they're great and they all have their own style. But none of them are just contractors. Mm-hmm. And so when you show up to this, there's this, I don't know, it's like a professional edge kind of comes off and you get to see a lot of these professionals be themselves and be contractors and be tradespeople. And it's really awesome. So we've got that one coming up. We have some quarterly events that we'll roll out shortly. That'll be in March. And those are always a great time. That's where we do welcome the real estate community and anybody else to attend to come meet contractors. But it's been awesome. We have all of our events lined up for 2025. So we're going to have an event every quarter. We're going to have a monthly meetup for the contractors every month. Of course, we always get our affiliates together, those professionals that help the contractors. They meet up monthly, as well as our preferred contractor audience. So awesome. A lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah. And as I continue to put our calendar together, I look forward to us finding at least one or two more collaborative events we could do together with your preferred contractors and our preferred investors and wholesalers and affiliates. I think bringing those two worlds together, especially for those who are the verified preferred, have gone through the in-house vetting system and had a little bit additional education and help along the way. I think that's going to be so big for both of our communities to have the opportunity to come together, more than just once or twice a year, but more frequently because it can really expand their businesses.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the 2025 holiday party. Whenever that is, sometime in December. Yeah. It's a long time out, but it's my favorite event. We just had one this past December. And I'm just thinking of what this will be, as this relationship develops between the two groups. I can foresee this being one of our biggest events of the year and coming up. So
heck yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
Well, anything else you'd like to share with us?
You brought up the verification process.
Yeah.
I think that's a really critical part of everything we're trying to do. There's so many organizations or companies out there that represent contractors, and coming from the marketing side, I was always very surprised at how little digging they do on who they're working with,
right?
And who they're really putting their name behind. It's such an important privilege, I think, to be put in a position where you can match make between a project holder and a contractor. It's really what it is. It's matchmaking. You got to make sure, like, it could be the perfect contractor and it could be the wrong project or the wrong project holder for that contractor. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we aim to do, is really understand who are these people and who are they as a person, one, who are they as a business owner, two, but then what is their business? Who is their business? How do they operate? So we developed 100 question, 150 question. I don't even know what it's ballooned up to. Anytime I hear a good question, I add it in there. Nice. And it starts off very basic. Are you a licensed contractor? Does your trade require any specialty licenses? Are you registered with the state? Do you have insurance? Do you have
Right.
insurance for the type of projects that you're going on? Who are your employees? Are they full-time W-2 employees, or are they 1099 subcontractors? If so, that's okay. It's very common in this world, but what's your relationship with them? Are these random guys that you just found and you're testing them out, or do you have 5-10 years of a relationship with them?
Right.
So
Do you have contracts? Do you have
exactly
full contracts to do
nailed it.
contracting work?
Exactly. Do you have contracts? Have they been reviewed by an attorney? Do you have a website so that if this partnership moves forward, when we do recommend you, what happens when your name comes out of our mouth? Do people have anywhere to go? Do you have Google reviews? So we all the way down to ethics policies. Do you have your employees or your 1099 subcrews sign ethics policies with you so that it's very standardized what the level of professionalism your company puts out? And it's not necessarily a pass or fail. There are definitely areas you fail, like you're not a registered business, sorry. You're not insured, sorry.
Right.
But once you get into the weeds of an ethics policy, you know what? No, I just never thought of that.
Right.
And so it creates a lot of awareness and gives us a roadmap to be able to help these contractors achieve kind of best practices in the construction world.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
It really is. Yeah. I did not know that it was so in depth. The questions that are asked.
Yeah, it's important. And if we're going to be recommending someone to go into your home and be there while your family's there or not there, this needs to be someone that's trustworthy. Background screenings, understanding their present but also their past. Are they financially stable? How is their business? Just the overall business health.
Right.
I was surprised that just a lot of other places don't do that.
Right.
It's just pay to play.
Exactly. I was going to say that exactly. Like, we can, maybe without dropping names, there are websites and companies that, do just that. Like, they act as a middleman between project holders, homeowners, whatever it may be, who's looking for a contractor to come and do some work. And they're using these resources, not Contractors of Colorado, they're using other resources to pay and to be a part of, thinking that they're going to get trustworthy, verified, preferred contractors, tradesmen. And I myself have experienced where that's just not the case, And so what you guys are creating is amazing because it really gives everyone the comfort of knowing that they're a part of a community that is trustworthy and that has much more backing to ensure that there's a level of trust first and foremost, other than it just being pay to play.
Yeah. It's not on the consumer to be an expert in what it means to understand their scope of construction. Like, what does their project look like? I've had conversations with literal brain surgeons married to a small business owner that wasn't in construction, and they got scammed out of tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
And the more I had that conversation over and over with different clients that had projects, I realized these questions aren't straightforward. Understanding, a business license, sure, insurance, sure, but even when you're sitting down and going through your invoice and everything, it doesn't feel like those are questions you should be asking, let alone diving into who are your employees, and then it also kind of creates that nightmare scenario for a contractor. Like, all of a sudden your client's asking all these tough questions that I would be asking in our verification process.
Right.
I know what they're thinking. This person's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
They're already asking these super detailed questions, but really it's just it's that communication between the two parties, and we want to be as thorough as we can. And that's why it's ballooned into such it takes an hour to 2 hours to go through all of this easily. And it almost feels like a responsibility. So we've identified the fact that sometimes even the contractors don't know what they should have.
Yeah.
So,
Or how to answer those questions if they were being asked by a homeowner,
Right.
they might be stuck, oh man, I don't even know the
Yep.
answer to that.
yep. And for us, it's perfect. Let's put it down on the list and let's get to it.
Yeah.
figure out how do we answer this question, or how do we feel confident answering these questions. So yeah, it's been really cool.
Awesome. No, thank you for diving into that. That's I think the most important piece of your entire community is the point of you guys being a resource for not just contractors, to have all of the amazing business services and help that you guys provide them, but especially like for the consumer, the homeowners, the investors, the builders, or the project holders of a building, to know that they're getting access to someone who's not going to screw them.
Yeah. It's funny how low the bar is. And that's where we've been, well, it didn't address this. And I'm like, well, one, thank you for pointing that out. Now I'm going to go add this into our verification. But two, there is nothing perfect out there. And the bar is so low that if we can just do our due diligence to the best of our ability, it's so much better than what's already out there. And that's really what we built our background on, is let's just be better than what's out there. And the more we help, this is just what we found, the more that we help the contractors, the more it turns around and benefits the homeowners or the project holders pretty much every time. If our mission just stays on, let's just help contractors be the professionals we know that they can be by providing them the help and the resources and the guidance that they frankly deserve, then it all just ends up being a better experience for project holders. So it's awesome.
Question for you, just something I just thought of. Your monthly and quarterly meetings, do you have any, or if not, would it be advantageous to have any that are for project holders?
Interesting. Well, that's one of the areas that I'm excited to ask you about.
Okay. Because we're some of the project holders.
Exactly.
But I mean outside of investors, like if you didn't like just public homeowner.
Yeah, so we've done a trade show before, and I think that kind of fits into the spirit of that question is, we've had all of our preferred contractors and other vendors come in and set up their tables here at the Business Foundry. And so many of these contractors have had poor experiences in trade shows. What I like about what we do is those are massive. Those are massive. They're renting out the Denver Convention Center. Ooh. There's a big one in Castle Rock. There's a massive one in Colorado Springs. And they're 3-4 days. You have to be there every single day. And a lot of the time, the feedback I've gotten is people are just walking past them, or the traffic was so low that they didn't really get much out of it, or it felt like they were just a fish in a sea full of other fish. And here it was we hand selected trades based on projects that the homeowners would have, and we filled the room with high quality contractors, and it was small and intimate, and we had a food truck, and it was just a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we plan on doing some more of that in 2025, more events open to the public to come meet these contractors.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But that is one thing I do want to discuss with you is the vision of the real estate deal makers. So I'm hijacking the podcast here.
All right.
And I want to ask you some questions about what is your vision? We just went through a rebrand. So if you want to speak to kind of the history of the group, that would be awesome. But before we do that, tell the audience, Contractors of Colorado, about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Gabrielle Simmons, and the founder of Real Estate Deal Makers is the name of our group now. We did go through that rebrand, which initially just started as a Facebook group, like you. I started a group after getting into real estate investing and wholesaling. Very early in the game, I just created the group because I thought I should. Like, I didn't really have any strategy behind it. It was more so just I wanted to have a Facebook group that was specific to Colorado, for one, and real estate professionals. I use that term loosely because I guess the technical real estate professional term is more so used for like realtors, those who hold a license. But, I definitely consider myself and everyone who I know to be investors and wholesalers professionals. So I wanted a group that was for us, that was different from all of the realtor groups. I found that a lot of times in real estate, if you say that you're in real estate or that you do anything real estate related, people automatically assume you're a realtor. So the group initially was called Real Estate Wholesale Flip Invest, just to be super specific about like what we're all here to focus on.
Right.
And so I've partnered up with Sufjan, brought the vision of having a space where wholesalers and investors can post deals and, collaborate, figure out ways to work together. Bringing that to what Sufjan, has proposed as like, hey, let's create even more benefit for the group other than just a free Facebook page where everybody comes and posts deals and just chats, So the vision for real estate deal makers is to educate, offering lots of different educational opportunities to investors and wholesalers, as well as our affiliates, and then bringing in affiliates to do a lot of that education. So those affiliates being title companies, inspectors, appraisers, companies like split pads, property management companies, bringing those affiliates into our community to educate everybody on all of the different ways other than just fix and flip that they can invest and that they can, excel their business on the wholesale side too. So ideally, our group is here to be of service really to your group, to also be of service to our group, right? Like it's symbiotic for sure. And so our members will have the opportunity to get access to the verified contractors. And that solves a big problem, for so many. For a real estate and investment focused group, we have so much traffic every day that's just talking about contractors and trades that they're looking for to come out and help, on projects. And so us working together creates that solution for them, to have first access to these amazing contractors. So also, I have a background in coaching. I've done quite a bit wholesale mentorships over the years, which I've kind of taken a step back because I got super just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That was like my, not even 9 to 5. That was my like 7 to 10
your
every
life.
day. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I look forward to doing more coaching and educating mostly wholesalers, but also realtors. I touched on that a little bit, but what's great as well about the community we're building is it acts as a resource for realtors who are also very involved in the real estate community, but need resources like contractors or need investors who can come in and solve the problems for their clients that just putting the house on the market and trying to sell it doesn't solve. Right? Like there are a lot of realtors who may get the opportunity to go see a house to potentially list it. And upon walking through it, they find like, hey man, you're upside down. The property needs like 20 grand worth of work. We can't sell it for what you owe, and those situations that realtors run into. Myself and our community can be a resource to them to say, hey, there's other ways we can work on this property. There's other ways we can bring in investors who are willing to put the money in, see the property increase in value, list it creatively, do a novation, do some kind of subject to purchase. All of these terms I could use that probably don't mean much to you right now, but
Not much at all. But I appreciate it.
this is what we're here to do, is just help the community as a whole.
Gotcha. So really creating, it's funny how similar it is to where I saw Contractors of Colorado and the potential with it, just creating this in-person community that you want to be a resource to. You want to provide in-person events and do things in person, but then also be a resource and open up a line of communication, whether it's the investor or the homeowner, or we call them real estate stakeholders. Is this the kind of what we've landed on to encapsulate everybody in the real estate world, just to be a resource in a community. So I really appreciate that. I think it's a need, and I think the communication piece of there's the real estate investors and the whole real estate stakeholder side needs the contractors just as much as the contractors need the real estate stakeholders. It's a match made in heaven. So I'm excited to see what we can do. Tell us about your event on the 6th.
Yeah, so we have our Real Estate Deal Makers event February 6th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. That is also officially like my welcome back event, kind of, to a lot of the people who have been a part of the community for a long time. That's kind of how I've explained it to them, like, come hang out with me because I'm just getting back into Colorado. I've been gone. I also have a trucking company, and so I've been out of the state of Colorado while still doing real estate. That's the beauty of it. You can do it from anywhere. For the last year, I've been gone. So I'm really looking forward to bringing everyone together. It's been shared in the group. It's being shared in your group to act as an event for our future members, investors, and wholesalers that are going to be joining our community, to also go through the vetting process that we are building out currently, to ensure that they are indeed true investors, that they have what they need to operate a good investment company.
It's a fantastic idea, by the way. I don't know where it came from, but very, very good idea.
It really is. And it solves a big problem that's the beauty of us working together, I feel, is that what you may not have been able to foresee is what you created solves such a big problem in so many other industries that just taking the idea and applying it, is monumental.
Yep.
So in the real estate community, it's a big problem to have investors who say they're investors, but they don't actually have access to capital. They don't actually have contacts for contractors to get the job done. And on the other side, our other members being wholesalers, it's a big problem that wholesalers don't have what they need, as basic as, do they have an LLC established, right? Do they have a business established and registered with the state? Do they have contracts? Do they know what their contracts mean, right? So that's part of what we are offering our members, is the opportunity to make sure that where they stand is from a place of being an established business first and foremost.
Yep.
And then that way they can work with each other and not have those everyday issues of ruining deals, really, is what it comes down to. When you have an investor who isn't truly verified, isn't truly qualified to be trying to purchase a deal, and wholesalers who aren't really qualified to be trying to sell a deal, it 9 times out of 10 ruins the deal itself, which hurts the homeowner, hurts the seller of the property.
Yep.
So, we're here to act as a resource to homeowners, to sellers, and we'll get more into the commercial space, but for the most part, we focus on single family homes.
Okay.
And so in an effort to keep homeowners from their properties foreclosing, them losing out on potential equity that could have been actualized had the deal closed when it was supposed to, we're helping everybody in that sense.
Yeah. Very similar to the more you help the professional, it trickles down, or however you want to frame it, to helping the homeowner, the project holder.
It's a ripple effect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. I feel like a broken record. I'm excited. This is awesome. There's so much potential with everything that you all have going on. I'm excited to be a resource and help kind of lay out the blueprint of everything that we've done and see if it inspires you or gives you any ideas. And the same, just seeing the new everything that you have going on and the excitement behind it. It just puts wind in our sails to keep going forward. 2025 is going to be an awesome year. I think a lot of these connections that we're talking about, it's not like we're trying to wedge ourselves in between all of them, which I recognize. I recognize that same feeling in you that I've had in myself of like, hey, I just kind of threw this together. This is just the group. And it's like, yeah, all the time and the effort and the energy that we put behind it. It's not to be overlooked, but at the same time, it's not like we're doing this for any sort of glory or thinking about it that way. It's there's an opportunity, and let's be the ones. If no one else is going to do this, let's go ahead and do it. And I think we're the right people to lead the efforts. But that being said, like we've got a platform that we've developed that we are testing with a small audience right now, but we're going to open up to your group.
Yeah.
And the whole name of that platform is matchmaking. Like, let's find the right contractors that are investor friendly. Let's post projects and let's have those connections start, and let's formalize this process of meeting contractors a little bit and having contractors pick up projects. It's a collective action. It's the more everybody gets on the same page, the better we're all going to be. And so this is a huge step of combining these two communities.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited too. I've played around a little bit with the new platform and gotten to see what that's becoming. And I know that is going to be huge just for everybody involved in our group. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, great. Is there anything, I guess I'll open up the mic in our split podcast here. Is there anything else that you wanted to get out today?
No, not that I can think of. Okay. I appreciate you just being so open and welcoming and educating me on all of, like you said, I love leading this group. I love that I get to see people come together and do deals. And I love my passion, the reason I got into real estate wholesaling. I'm very passionate about the opportunity to help distressed homeowners. And so to be able to create even more opportunity for them, even though they're not the people we're talking to, they're not the ones that typically see, what I'm doing in the wholesale space or as an investor, to know that all of this as a collaborative effort provides more resources to homeowners who are distressed, going through divorce, bankruptcy, pre-foreclosure, those things. That's what keeps my heart burning really for real estate.
It's awesome.
Because I've seen that change so many lives. So,
well, awesome. Well, welcome. I'm excited to see where all of this goes. Real estate deal makers there's so much potential, and having somebody leading it that takes it seriously and sees that potential and wants to see it through, it's exactly what the group needed. Contractors of Colorado, here for you, however we can help. I think that's all I have to say. I'm ready for 2025. We've got a lot of big things planned, and you and your community are a huge part of that. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, you bet. All right. Well, I guess one last shout out to our sponsor, Builders Outlet. Yes. Thank you to Builders Outlet for all that you do for our community. Cabinets, doors, windows, trim, some appliances. They've got a custom mill. They're located right by Empower Stadium up there in Denver. So if you need anything for your projects, if you're an investor, if you are a contractor, give them a call and let them know that you came from our communities, and they will take care of you. Thank you again to everybody. Here's to 2025. We're very excited for everything that we've got lined up. So stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.